So in this lesson, we're going to look at how we can take something that looks really complicated and use factoring to simplify it. So when I look at this expression, I see some terms that come up repeatedly. I'm just going to rename them and then rewrite this in a simpler way. So I see x squared plus 2x twice. I'm going to call that a. And then I see x minus 1 3 times, so I'm going to call that b. Down here in the denominator, I see it as well. And lastly, I see 3x plus 5 twice, and I will call that c. Now I'm going to rewrite this in a's and b's and c's to make it a little bit simpler. So when I rewrite everything, I'm going to wind up with 12a to the fourth, b to the half, that root, I'll just write it as a half exponent, 3x plus, I'm going to write that as c, c to the 11th, plus 8, a to the 5th, b to the negative 1/2, c to the 10th, and then over, I'm going to have x to the 7th and b to the 3/2. And now I think I have an expression that I can factor a little more manageably. It's just easier to read. So I'm going to see what I can take out. I'm going to start with the coefficients of the two terms in the top. So I'm really factoring the two terms in the top right now. I'm factoring this term here and then this second term here. Well, 12 and 8 can both be divided by 4. So I'm going to take a 4 out of them. Then next, both terms have a's in common. I can take out an a to the 4th out of both of them. And then for the b's, so this is a little tricky because you've got a b to the 1/2 and you've got a b to the negative 1/2. You can take out the lowest common power. So they both have a b to the negative 1/2. That's the lowest common power. So that's what I'm going to take out. And then c to the 10th I can take out. And what am I left with? Okay, so I am left with a 3 because 12 divided by 4 is 3. My a's are gone. Now, b to the 1/2, and I took out b to the negative 1/2. This is a little bit tricky, but I'm going to be left with b to the 1st. So to think about why that is, this new exponent, 1, is 1/2 my old exponent minus what I took out. So that equals 1/2 plus 1/2. My old exponent was 1/2, and I subtract the negative 1/2 that I took out. Just like I'm going to be left with c to the 1st, because I had c to the 11th, and I took out c to the 10th. So if you think of it like that, this is c to the 1st. This exponent, which is also a 1, is 11 minus 10, my old exponent minus what I took out. Then, after that, from the second part of the expression, I'm going to have, I have 8 divided by 4 is 2. Then I'm going to have an a left because I took out a to the 4th. And then the b's and c's are gone because I took out b to the negative 1/2 and I took out a c to the 10th. And now I have x to the 7th, b to the 3/2. All right, so we've done some good factoring. Let's put back in what we put back in all of our variables. Actually, you know what I think I'll do first? I think first, before I put everything back in, I will just sort of do a little side work to work out what is this in the parentheses going to turn out to be, and then we'll put everything back in. Okay, so let's do that. Let's look at what 3bc minus 2a is going to be. That's 3. B is x minus 1. C is 3x plus 5. And then minus 2. A is x squared plus 2x. So that's going to be 3. Let's FOIL this. 3x squared plus 5x minus 3x plus 5. And then I'm going to have a minus 2x squared minus 4x. That is going to give me 9x squared plus 15x minus 9x plus 15 minus 2x squared minus 4x. So I'm going to use a little bit of color coding to mark my like terms. There are my squared terms. And then that's an x term, and that's an x term, and that's an x term. When I put all of that together, I'm going to get 7x squared plus 2x and plus 15. And I'm quite sure that does not factor. Okay, so all of that, I'm going to put, I think we'll go on to a new slide here, but all of that, I'm going to take that and put it back into that little purple bubble along with everything else. All right, so let's see what we have now. So here we are with all that work I did, popped back into that purple bubble, and I see one more thing I'm going to simplify before I move forward. I'm going to combine the b terms. B to the negative 1/2 over b to the 3/2. And I'll just do that on the side really quickly here. B to the negative 1/2 over b to the 3/2. Well, you subtract an exponent when it moves from the denominator to the numerator or vice versa. So I'm going to make all of the exponents positive. So this is going to be 3/2 minus negative 1/2 if I move it to the bottom, which is going to give me a b squared in the bottom. So going back, let's write what we have now. 4a to the 4th, the b is going to be gone, c to the 10th, 7x squared plus 2x plus 15, oopsie, and over x to the 7th, and now my b to the 3/2 is a b squared because I've combined it with the other b. So I think now I am ready to go ahead and plug A, B, and C back in where they belong. All right, so we have, oops, I forgot my exponents here. So this is A to the 4th, and this is C to the 10th. So I have put my A back in here, and we are just about done. This is C, and then I popped my B back in there. I see one more thing I can factor. It's a little bit tricky, but hopefully you'll see it. And we are going to be able to simplify something. If you look right there at A, I have x squared plus 2x to the 4th. Well, I can take an x out of that. But the tricky thing here is everything is to the 4th. So when I take that x out, both of these things will be raised to the 4th power. So this will be x to the 4th and x plus 2 to the 4th. And if you'll see, I'm going to be able to reduce something now. So I have 4x to the 4th x plus 2 to the 4th, 3x plus 5 to the 10th, 7x squared plus 2x plus 15. And then in the bottom, I have x to the 7th, x minus 1 squared. And now you finally see that I'm so close, but I'm going to just simplify these. I can reduce this by x to the 4th. So my final answer is 4x plus 2 to the 4th, 3x plus 5 to the 10th, 7x squared plus 2x plus 15 over x cubed x minus 1 squared. That was a big problem, a lot of algebra, but we had a little bit of everything going on there, so you could really see how to factor, how to deal with negative exponents, and how to simplify.